Hello, hello, everyone. It's Rosetta here, your certified health coach at Simply Health, coming to you with another one of my conversations with Rosetta. I'm so excited today because I have an amazing guest and she's going to be talking all about what she does. But before I start and introduce her, I'd like to remind you to like my videos, subscribe to my channel, and if you don't want to miss any of my videos, you can hit that bell notification. And today I have Karen Paris with me. Thank you, Karen, for joining. And she is a holistic wellness facilitator, and she does different holistic modalities, and some of them are guided meditation, Reiki Master, and aromatherapy. So welcome, Karen, again to Conversations with Rosetta. So excited to have you here. And I'm going to ask you first, how did you get into this holistic wellness arena, industry, and what is your background? Let's hear some of that so that people know how you came about to doing this, what you're doing, holistic wellness.
Okay, wow. I have been into holistic wellness things actually since I was a child. My mom took me to the ARE, the Edgar Cayce Institute in Virginia Beach, when I was like 10 years old and turned me loose in the library. She was there with her friends to, do some reading and some research and stuff. And I ran amok and I found some books and I started reading, and it just fascinated me, the various different things that I could find there. So when we left and, I was at the disposal of our local library, I ran across lots of different little things. And, this was back in the 70s. So there wasn't the internet, the access wasn't there like it is now. So, I have a basement full of books because I would just hoard books on the topic of everything spiritual and metaphysical and holistic, and just read because it really resonated with me. And as a child, my mom used to tell me I had this crazy knack that everywhere we would go, I would find a seashell and a feather. And she's like, nature just speaks to you. It's just very strange, that you have that, symbiotic relationship. And I said, well, that's because it just it's ingrained in me. It's part of who I am, hiking and being outside and doing that sort of thing. So as I became older, I realized there was so much more to it than just that connectiveness and that energy that we all have, that we share with everything around us. I realized that it could be used to create in your life, from creating, a successful business to creating wellness. And that really fascinated me. And so I started very simply with looking at various essential oils and raw herbs. I think probably the raw herbs actually came first because they were more available, because I would go to the Natural Audubon Society and I would go out on hikes with them, and we would take classes and I would learn what the herbs were and I would see them in their habitats, and I would read more about that, and then, what they could do and what you could eat and forage locally and things like that. So it started with me very young and it evolved. And I guess I want to say I became very adept at what I was doing by the time I was 20. And then I had my son, and then I took a kind of a hiatus because I wanted to, do what I needed to do from him. And at that point in time, here in Virginia, a lot of people were very conservative. And so I didn't want them to go, that's, the boy with the weird mom, so I kind of backburnered my practice until he graduated from high school. And then I jumped back in with both feet. And through, the evolution of the internet during that process and research and my access to more materials, I now have an herbal apothecary in my home. and I'm a doTERRA wellness advocate at the manager level. So I have the essential oils now. So when I do my aromatherapy and I'm custom blending, whether it's a homeopathic remedy or simply aromatherapy for manifesting a specific energy or intention into a person's, space, I have the broad spectrum now available to me. So,
Wow, that's amazing. Wow. So you combine different things. I really like that. Now, let's talk about like what would someone come and see you for, or what are your clients? Who are your typical clients, and what kind of things do you treat people for?
well, first I want to clarify that I don't quote treat people, because that's a medical term, and what we're doing is more spiritual. I am an ordained interfaith minister as well. So what I am doing is more of a holistic wellness, spiritual practice, and it's not medical.
Right.
What I see people for and help people manifest in their life and manifest in their life, and what we facilitate rather, is helping. I help women. I work with all female clients, and whether it's Reiki, teaching them to become a Reiki master teacher themselves, or a Reiki practitioner, or just for self work, or whether I'm providing a Reiki session or doing doTERRA aroma touch, or singing bowl therapy. I also have an amethyst healing mat for infrared, which helps to detox and alleviate muscle spasm and sore muscles and back pain. So I do a lot with working with people who are already seeing a doctor for something that is paining them, but they want to take it to the next level because they feel out of control and they don't feel that they're getting the response they need. So they need to relax, kind of ground and center, and allow the healing process to happen. So I help them to de-stress with aromatherapy. Sometimes there's an essential oil that we or several that we can blend together and create a topical massage oil that they can massage into the area that's bothering them, so that we can work side by side in tandem with the medical care that they're getting. I also work a lot with people who have insomnia. When necessary, I have the great ability of helping people to fall asleep very quickly. And I've had a lot of people with insomnia hit my Reiki table or my sofa for a guided meditation and fall asleep and get a deep sleep. So I always tell people, if they're coming to see me in person for that, to allow an extra 2 or 3 hours, because if
Wow.
they do achieve a good sleep, I don't want to have to wake them up after a half an hour. I want them to receive the benefit of that, and then I'll just, leave the room for a while and work on my computer and come back in when they wake up, because when you're suffering from insomnia, that sleep is so important. And then once we realize that we can get them to sleep through that process, then I teach them how to talk themselves through that at home, so they can become self relaxing, as opposed to, there are some modalities where you have to go to someone else to have it time after time after time to receive the benefit. But my goal is to have people come to me as few times as possible, so that they can become self-serving with their wellness practices. Sorry about that. I thought I had my phone off. So I want people to become basically self balanced, be able to fall asleep on their own, be able to talk them through that period of stress themselves, teach them the skill sets to be able to do that for themselves. That can be done through targeted guided meditation. And so what I do is I create very purposeful, targeted guided meditations after a one-on-one consultation with a client that works specifically for them, for their particular set of circumstances. And then, of course, people are always welcome to come back, and, we can revisit it and then tweak it as necessary as they achieve successes and they move forward in their lives. Then things need to be tweaked, because you don't want to keep doing the old when you're in a new place. You want to take it to that next level.
Oh, I love that. I love that. So, as Karen said, she's in Virginia. But for those of you that are not in Virginia and unable to see her in person, she does virtual. So, you're more than welcome to connect with her, and she'll be able to do everything virtual. So, talk about the guided meditations and how that works and what the preparation is for those guided meditations if someone were to do it virtually with you.
Okay, well, if we were going to do it virtually, the first thing I would do is schedule a Zoom call with you, and we would talk like you and I are talking now, and we would dialogue about what's going on in your life and what about that is causing the concern that you have and where you would like to be. And then we would talk about what you might see that is standing in your way of achieving that. And we might, take that several layers deeper and look at what that is. Then I would formulate the meditation so that we are releasing the things that no longer serve you. We are embedding positive affirmations about getting you where you're going. And we're going to have you visualizing the perfect place that you want to be and experiencing, feeling, putting that on and what that feels like. And then the aromatherapy piece of that, because even virtually we can do the aromatherapy piece. But what I would do is we would talk about it. I would make the blend and then I would ship that to them.
Oh,
so
nice.
that you could have the aromatherapy oil, so that you could, put a little bit on your wrists and smell it before the meditation. So that we can do that. And then you have that to open yourself and smell as a trigger when you're wanting to meditate for yourself, because we know that scent really triggers the mind to things. So having that specific scent blended to that meditation can be a trigger to help to put you into that place where you need to be to achieve that thing you're trying to.
Very nice. Very nice. I love that. So you would send that prior, and then when it's time for the meditation, virtual meditation, what kind of surroundings do you need? Do you need to be on a chair and lying down?
Well, I ask the people to be comfortable. We're going to be doing it on a Zoom because I'm going to want to be able to see the person, because I don't want to talk someone into the alpha state during a meditation and not be able to see them. I want them to be at home. This isn't something when we're doing this deep work. It's certainly been done during COVID to talk people down from stress, but I prefer not to do these sessions with people when they're in a car in a parking lot.
Yeah, yeah.
You want to be at home, you want to be comfortable, you want to be sitting or laying down in a position where your limbs are not constricted, so your hands or feet are not going to get tingly, and fall asleep. So, you're going to want to be very relaxed. So I leave that up to the person, how they find themselves to be comfortable. Some people are just way more comfortable on the floor than in a chair. So I'd be like, well, sit on the floor and lean up against your sofa. Safety always comes first. I tell people a million times, and I know people who have had horrible accidents with candles. My house is full of candles, but I do not light candles when I'm meditating. You have aromatherapy that can be done without having that risk. And just my little, public service announcement is, please don't light candles when you're meditating. I personally know or have met through my practice people that have come to me that have actually had house fires as a result of lighting candles.
Wow.
While they were meditating. And it's like, don't do it. It's not worth the risk. It's dangerous. Yes, we see these great movies with 1,000 candles in the bathtub.
Yes, we do.
Into the water. And I watch those, and like my grandma spidey senses come out, and I'm just like going, You could fall asleep in the tub. You could catch your hair on fire. There are so many things. And I'm like, that is not relaxation to me as the facilitator. I'm looking at that and I'm just going, please don't do that. Just
That's great.
don't.
I love it. The great public announcement right there. Don't
That's
light
it.
candles
Just
when you're
please.
meditating.
It looks
Please.
great on TV, but it's not good in practical application when you're at home alone. Don't
Yeah.
do it.
Yay, yay. So, Karen, do you have like one short story that you could tell everyone or talk about in regards to your maybe helping someone or something that you could talk about? A story.
Sure. Well, I can use myself as an example,
Sure.
easily enough. I had a major health issue, and I know, Rosetta, you and I have talked about this before, but I was diagnosed with a medical condition, and the medical community had done everything that they could for me. We tried, chemo and all kinds of invasive drugs, and nothing worked. And so they said, look, you've had this for too long. We didn't catch it for 30 years. There's just nothing we can do. And, we'll wait and get you on a liver transplant list. And when that time comes, we'll address it, and that wasn't good enough for me. I was like, I went that route and I did everything I could through Western medicine to get healed, and nothing worked. And I gave them 30 years and
Yeah.
nothing worked. I jumped in because while I was doing what I was doing for them, they did not want me doing essential oils. They did not want me taking herbal supplements orally because of some of the chemo drugs and things they were having me on. They did not want me to do anything. I would have if I had been allowed, but I didn't want to fly in the face of what my doctor said. So when that was done and we had gone our separate ways because they had nothing more to offer me, I then enlisted a full regimen of essential oils. I took a fistful of supplements every day. I still take my lifelong vitality vitamins every single day, twice, in the morning and at night. And you should always take your vitamins in the morning and at night, just as a little sidebar, because when you take your vitamins, your body goes right up to peak, right? When you stop and you don't take them at the rest of the day, you go down, 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 down. And so when you take them in the morning and in the evening, it keeps your body operating at peak performance around the clock, because the shelf life of a vitamin in you is about 12 hours. So I take my vitamins morning and evening. I massage the essential oils directly over my liver and my spleen 3 times a day. I took additional essential oils and I made some glycerides, which is basically where you take an herb and you take a vegetable glycerin and you extract the essence from the herb into the glycerin. And I took that orally every single day, twice a day. And as I went in for my regular blood work, so they could do their testing to determine when it would be appropriate for me to go on the liver transplant list, lo and behold, after doing this for about a month, my medical condition had begun to reverse itself. They were absolutely shocked. They thought it was an anomaly. They reran the tests. The tests were even better the second time they came back. And they said, you know what, your body is starting to heal itself. We now have a new treatment that we can try you on. And that treatment ultimately gave me my cure. And I am cured and I am no longer on a list because my body has adapted to my liver functioning in the way it is. Had I not used my herbs, I did visualization every day. Every day I looked in the mirror and I said to myself, every day in every way, I'm feeling better. I'm getting better. I am better. Every single day. I did that visualization. I did that meditation. And today, here I sit, 3 years healed for something that I was given in a blood transfusion in 1983.
Wow.
So
Wow.
it
Amazing.
worked.
Amazing.
And
It
I
does.
am living and breathing and healthy as proof of that. So my doctors are still amazed every day. They just, They're like, I don't understand why this worked. I don't understand. I'm like, you don't have to understand. You just, you don't have to understand.
You just know
It's
that
just
what the results were is living proof, right?
exactly, exactly. And they see me and they're surprised, but they're always happy when I come in and they do my test results. And, here I sit and I'm healthy and I'm well and I'm 59 years old and they're looking at me and, it wasn't, but, 8 or 9 years ago, they told me, well, maybe in a year we'll get you a liver transplant, maybe if you qualify for it, if you're well enough, if we think and I'm like, no, don't put that on me. I just, you know, visualization, meditation, and mindset are so important in wellness. And anything that goes on in someone's life that creates stress impacts your ability to facilitate your own wellness. So, what I do is I help people to determine what that thing is, isolate it. If we can, drill down to maybe what the root core of that was, and then create meditation and aromatherapy to release it because it no longer serves you. There was obviously a reason in your life you experienced it, and you need to thank that with love for that lesson. And then you need to let it go because as human beings, we organically want to take that thing that hurts it and like cleave on to it and beat ourselves to death with it.
Yeah.
And what we have to do is release it and send it out and just, you know, not carry it. So
Yes, I really love the fact that you said that it's so important to your affirmations and your positivity. And when you said every day in every way, I'm getting better and feeling well, that just, I'm like, my goodness, that's what I used to say. My mom used to tell me to say exactly those words every day in every way. And whatever you want to put after that is what you should say every day. It's amazing. Wow, that's powerful. I'm telling you, I kind of got some chills just listening to that because that's really, and I did not believe in affirmations and positive thoughts many years ago, but now I do. And I've been just really, it's very inspiring that you say that. And I love the fact that you combine different modalities. And I want to talk a little bit about your herbal apothecaries because Karen, she has a holistic wellness center. Now, if you live in Virginia and you're lucky enough to visit her, because she's starting to do it in person, and it's amazing. Her wellness center is just out of this world. It just is so spiritual, so relaxing. And she has this whole, like, it's like a little shop down there that she makes all her herbal apothecaries now. Can you talk a little bit about that? And I said to her last time, you need to start selling that because it looks like a tiny little shop down there. So talk a little bit about your wellness center, what you do in there, and your apothecaries that you make.
well, I make lots of different, things, but I actually I do teach classes in studio here on how to make various, tinctures, glycerides, um, lotions, various different things, even lip balm with peppermint in it. So it gives you that little plumpy thing because, it's got to be fun too. But, various different kinds of home remedies. It's important to be able to make things that we know what's going into it. And I have very good wholesale resources for our organic herbs. So I don't go out like in the backyard and pick them because I want to know that I'm getting them from a reputable source. Not that I use for other people, I do for myself. I'll forage in my yard because I live on 5 acres, and so there's a lot to choose from. But um, it's I guess I have jars and jars, maybe 500 pounds of various herbs. Every single herb has an energy and it has a set of various physical things that it can affect. So I can either do an aromatherapy incense where you burn them and the energy of it is created around you, or I can make a glyceride. I prefer glycerides to tinctures because when you're making a tincture at home, generally these days, what you're using as a base is a vodka. And I don't drink because obviously with the liver issues, that would be very bad. So, glycerides for me are a stretch because I also don't eat sugar as a rule, but I will take the vegetable glycerin over the alcohol on any day. There are probably a ton of people out there that are going, "Oh, I sign up for the vodka," and that's fine too,
Yes, I know.
you know,
Yeah.
because it does deliver quicker and it extracts more of the essence in the vodka because the alcohol is really more drawing. But for the people who have conditions where that's counter, intuitive, we have the vegetable glycerin for that. But there's just all different things, and I teach the class and it's a lot of fun. We have 13 basic herbs, and so I teach people to recognize the herb and touch the herb, and they even take a little quiz, but the basis of it is to learn how to make salves and balms and tinctures and glycerides and liniment and all of these things, because we live in a crazy world and we don't always know that we're going to be able to get to the pharmacy to get what we need. This past year, I haven't had to worry about running out to get a cold remedy or get something because someone in my household had a fever, because I have enough herbs in my basement for probably 10 years of remedies. So,
Nice.
we're well covered here. So it's learning to be self-sufficient in some ways, and it's a fun thing to learn, and it's beneficial. I mean, if you have the herbs and you stub your toe or you sprain your ankle and you put the right herbs together and put them in a warm compress and wrap them around your ankle, you can get rid of all the swelling much faster than with ice without torturing your brain, because ice might be good for the ankle, but the mind does not respond well to having a body immersed in ice. It is not pleasant.
Wow, I love that. So, with these classes, when you teach people how to make those different things, is this now in person or could you do it over Zoom and explain where to get these resources from?
I have done it in person, but it would be something where I could box up the materials and ship them and do it via Zoom. Generally, when I do this class, I like to have 10 people in the class at a time. And I pre-order. There's a book that someone else has written that I absolutely love because they have a lot of the precautions about herbs and all of the values of what they are, and a lot of great recipes. So I have my handbook of what I'm teaching specifically, but then there's another book that I really like people to read because I want them to have all of the precautions and drug interactions and things about the specific herbs that we're working with as well. So what I do is I say, if you have a group of 10 people and you want to take this class, then great, or if you have a group of
That's
5
great.
people in
Yeah.
this day and age, I would probably consider it. I'm not saying no to anything. We're a virtual world now, but there's a lot of homework involved with it. So, I tell people, if it's something you're interested in doing and you're going to take the class and you want to take it virtually, start saving your glass jars now. Those glass jars that spaghetti comes in, rinse them out, take the labels off and save them. Because if you're going to take this class, you're going to need about 10 of them.
So do they have to, so
So
is this class just one class or is it a set of classes or it's just
it's a set of classes, yeah, because the process to make some of these things takes about a month.
wow.
So it's several classes over a period of time, and the classes are about 2 hours a piece. And then the homework, you've got your jar, and then you have to, shake it every day. Or in some cases, you have to put it in a pot of boiling water and simmer it. So there's things that need to be done. There's homework that's involved.
Nice. So that would
Yeah,
be really nice for a group of women that want to get together and do this. And that would
right.
be making, what would that be like with the jars? What are you making with the jars,
Well,
within the jars?
you're making the glycerides or the tinctures, or maybe the salves or the balms. I mean, with salves and balms, there's a lot of various oils and beeswax. We use beeswax. Organic beeswax is just wonderful for a homemade lip balm. I like to do in my class several different kinds of homemade lip balm. We do a peppermint, we do an orange, and then we do one that has all of these very anti-chapping herbs in it. My husband says it's like magic
Oh,
because
wow.
you've got those dry, cracked lips from being like, we own an office furniture company as well. So he's out with the guys on the truck in the winter and he gets so chapped, and he puts it on and it clears up. And then I have an anti-itch salve that I teach people to make, and he'll go down to the canoe and he'll get a chigger bite and he'll put it on, and he says it just knocks it right out. So, he's always like coming to me going, okay, which bottle do I use for this? Which bottle do I use for that?
So
And
you're a good resource for him. He doesn't need to go anywhere. Just come to
no,
you.
he just
Yeah,
comes to me and says, okay, Kara, what do I need?
I
And
love that.
I hand him a
Yeah.
little amber bottle full of something and he takes care of it.
It's so helpful. So if you're watching out there and you're interested in doing some kind of virtual group setting, I'm sorry, group sessions, I was meant to say group sessions, maybe you can contact Karen and she could advise you, or you could say, this is what I want to do. And maybe she'll come up with some ideas and she'll make it happen for you. So don't worry, everyone. I'm going to put all her information in the description below so you can get a hold of her. So if you're in Virginia, you want to see her in person, you can do that. If not, then you will have access to contact her by different contact methods so that you can arrange something. This would be great for a group of women that want to start like a short project, make some things of their own. And then I guess within these virtual, I says classes, you're saying that you can help people, but then they'll kind of have a better understanding so that they could do something on their own afterwards or make something on their own. Is that correct?
Yes, because what they're going to do is when we do the herbal class, I recommend a book to them. So they have a book, and there's additional recipes that are in that book by
Oh,
another
nice.
author. So it gives them those opportunities as well as the recipes that I provide. They're in the book that comes with my class.
Very nice.
So, they have all those recipes so they can always recreate it. And the process for making a salve or a balm or a tincture or a glyceride is fairly close to always the same, with the exception of the percentages of different herbs being used are different depending on the herb.
Okay.
So, that's why you always want to use a good compendium that's been put out by somebody who is a certified herbal person. So they, I use these books as a basis. And then I use my skills that I've honed over the years. And
Nice.
we do that. And guided meditations, it's the same thing. I teach to large groups all the time virtually. And so I have a set of meditations that I use with people that are on weight loss programs. I have meditations for growing your business. I also do vision boarding. So we incorporate aromatherapy and the various energy of herbs and gemstones into the vision boards to bring what they need. And I even have a guided meditation that I teach to set up a spiritual sales team or board of directors for your business so that your energy is working in the same way you're running your corporation or your business, so that energetically you're married up to what your goals are professionally.
I love that. See, there's so much that you can do. And what I'll do is I'll get all the information from you, Karen, as to what you can do, what you had just briefly mentioned, because I'm sure there's more you can do. And we'll put it in
There's
the
an
description.
oil or a meditation for everything.
Yeah, yes. So I'll put it in the description below so you can see what kind of, like, if you're not sure, what kind of classes or sessions that you can do virtually with her. But the guided, so you'll probably be like in your wellness center when you're doing the guided meditations, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I say that because if you're virtual and you don't have a chance to fly all the way to Virginia, you'll see her in her wellness center, and it's amazing. I really highly recommend you all have her give you a little tour of that little center, because it's really amazing. And if I was in Virginia, I would be coming to see you, like, physically. So it just seems so relaxing, and just, she built this all by herself, put it together by herself, and it's just, I can't tell you how relaxing it looks. So everyone, remember, if you want to, contact Karen, do so, and she can, she'll help you in many different holistic modalities. So,
That's
and you
right.
also give consultations, correct, Karen?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And if anybody has something, there is no wrong question to ask. So if there's something that's going on in your life and you just feel out of balance about it, just call me or shoot me a text, because I can create a meditation for virtually everything. I have yet to find something I can't. And so I'm here to grow with you. And so if you have a need, I will do the research and find out what we need to do, and we will create it if it's not something that's already in
Wow.
my repertoire.
That's amazing. That's great. That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Karen. Yeah, that's been really awesome. And I loved having these conversations with you. And everyone, don't forget that I will put all her information below, so you don't have to worry that you're missing all her details, because I have not, given her contact information, but it will be down below in the description, and you can contact her for any questions. But I just want to ask you, Karen, if you have any final words that you'd like to say to people.
I guess just, the light is always at the end of the tunnel, and you just have to open your eyes and see it. And so just keep heading for that light. When there's something in your life that is stressing you out, you are not alone. There is someone else who's experiencing it, and there's always someone there to reach out their hand and help you through it. And that's what I do. I'm here for you. So just have a wonderful spring. And the only wrong way to meditate is not at all there. So just spend a minute with yourself and love yourself. It's a great gift.
Thank you so much. I always say that. Spend a minute, love yourself. I always say that. Respect yourself, love yourself, and be kind to yourself. Thank you so much, Karen, for joining me on Conversations with Rosetta. And I hope you've enjoyed our conversations today with Karen Paris. Thank you so much. And if you liked my video, don't forget to hit that like button, the thumbs up right there, the icon below, subscribe to my channel. And thank you so much, everyone, for another one of my Conversations with Rosetta. Thank you, Karen. Until next time, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.